Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another reading. Another reading. In the bottom of my deck before shuffling, it's the Three of Cups. Community, community, community. It's the energy of community. I love energy of community, especially when it's just in tarot cards and community is not harming each other so much in the cards, you know. And while I'm shuffling, I split the deck, and I see the High Priestess and the Magician. Wow. So I guess we're gonna be uncovering some secrets today. Uncovering some secrets this weekend. Some secrets of this weekend. Oh, some loving secrets. Some loving secrets for this weekend. That's what this reading is for. So it's a look ahead for this weekend. Someone is actually looking for a date or something like that this weekend. Maybe just having fun with friends. Very dear friends. Dear community. Maybe soul community. Thrive. So let's go. I just want 4 cards. We're gonna go just 4 cards. 2 cards from the deck, and the other cards are gonna be from outside energies. So I'm gonna be now. Bottom card on the top and top card on the bottom. For the main energy, it needs awful. Awful energy, dude. Awful energy. And the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups and what we can see about that. So that's in the bottom of the deck, and on the top of the deck is Judgment. The Judgment. This is a very not so good reading. Not so good reading. I mean, it's kind of good. Like at least it's like the King of Cups is very grounded. It's the most grounded energy in the reading. The King of Cups, and but in regards to the energy that I see, that's the main like individual energy. It's not so good. So it's like good news is mostly psychological. Good news is mostly psychological. So on the bottom we have the 8 of Swords, and on the top we have the 5 of Swords. So we are all just deeply lost in our minds, with a very not healthy, unhealthy, not healthy or unhealthy thought patterns, in which we wanna perceive ourselves. We wanna perceive ourselves to be winning, by the sum, the people with the 5 of Swords. We are like, my thoughts are just disarming people. So maybe a lot of you, or maybe some of you, at least one of you, is having this energy in which they are defeating enemies. I see, like my mind says, like enemies. They're defeating enemies in their mind. But thing is, those two guys that I see there are not so much of enemies, they are kind of like just hurt, very deeply hurt by what you just said, what you just you just intended with your words. Maybe a lot of you is kind of triggered because of what I'm saying right now, and that's not my intention. So if you feel that you have a trigger, we can both agree that I could use some introspection about that, and you could use some introspection about that as well. And the bottom energy, so the main energy that's explaining that Five of Swords, is the Eight of Swords. So it's a very it's a mindset, it's a schema, a psychological schema. What's a psychological schema? A psychological schema is a pattern that was internalized by ourselves, by our mind, by repetition. And after so much repetition, there is a complete belief, So a belief is a thought that we think a lot of times, So we have been thinking about in this kind of way for a lot of time, a long time. So it's been it's become a deeply rooted thought. And I see that it may be in regards to attaining some kind of position, So this card, the Eight of Swords, in the back of the card, there is a very dry, a very dry mountain, and on the top of the mountain there is a castle. A lot of passion, a lot of passion. The body is full of passion and with all that red, but it's not so much full of life, it's not so much life. And also in the Five of Swords, I see that there is a lot of emotional stability, and also with the external energy that's clarifying what's happening is that the Judgment, there is, and the King of Cups, there is a lot of emotional stability, but there is not so much growth. And especially in the Judgment, it's like very cold outside kind of way. So maybe you are in the northern hemisphere, maybe in England, maybe in England. Beyond England, maybe in Iceland. I hope that's not the case, but that you are going through very harsh times. But I see that there is a lot of emotional stability, which is good. It's good. There is a lot of emotions, and they're stable. There is a lot of structure, and that structure is not crumbling down. There is a lot of determination. There is a lot of passion, a lot of integrity. Okay, a lot of stability, of honor, of compassion. So there is in the background I see there is a lot of stability. So what's the main problem in this thing is that this King of Cups is a little bit, is probably is a personality, is a person that has a lot of emotional strength, but it's not so good with thoughts. Thoughts confuse him very much, kind of way. So the external, the external, and in the and they're kind of interacting with other people that have their with someone, especially with masculine energy. It could be a woman, it could be a man, but what I'm trying to say is that there is like a masculine energy. By that I mean there is kind of a dominant, a dominant energy in the. So people that I'm making this reading for, maybe some of you, or maybe you're thinking about some kind of, or you're acting out in some kind of domineering thought patterns, so you want to use, you want to control things, or you want to feel secure, you want to have a sense of control by using thoughts, by using your mind. But maybe you're using it without much emotional intelligence or emotional skills, and that's okay. Not everyone has a lot of emotional experience, I don't see that that's good or bad, because I can see that clearly. I can see that this is like two different energies, in which there is one energy that's completely emotionally intelligent, and the other energy is completely thoughtful, not so much emotions, not so much emotions, but they're very thoughtful. So they think a lot, and by thinking a lot, they can actually stay grounded. So their emotions, by thinking a lot, they can control their emotions. And in the exterior of that energy, so the community, or the world around that energy, there is a lot of people that actually is connecting with emotions, and they don't actually mind too much about thoughts or about intellect, and they're very grounded, but they lack, or they do not express, they do not come from a place of intellect, but of kind of intuition. But it's an intuition that is disconnected from this higher or of this different dimension of thinking, because emotions, there is people that's fully emotional, and there is people that uses thinking, uses their mind to manage their emotions. What I see here is that both energies are judging each other. Both energies are judging each other, and I say, because you're doing the same. You're doing the same, So I say, I'm doing the reading for some people that has a lot of dogmas, a lot of strong beliefs, and by that I mean you've been thinking certain things a lot of times, and those thoughts now have a root. and now are kind of around you, and you are inside, kind of contained by those thoughts, contained by those beliefs. Your psychological integrity is contained by those beliefs. And you're acting out from that place in which you are, of course, mastering this kind of psychological phenomena that you have created in order to preserve your emotional stability. I see that your thoughts touch your emotions, touch the ground in which you stand, and they provide kind of pillars, kind of structure to everything that surrounds. So you understand the world from a thinking kind of place. Okay? And that has given you a lot of groundedness, and maybe you have this castle. Maybe you are the one that's in this castle. Okay, so by using intelligence and by using knowledge, you have acquired some kind of security, some kind of control. The thing is, there are people outside, or no, not even. There's people that lives. I see that these I'm doing this reading for maybe a feminine or recipient, a recipient. So it's a person that holds energy, gathers energy. So it's good with holding, preserving. So it's kind of feminine, but it could be a man. So it could be a man. It could be a man, but there is an energy that's a little bit more kind of nurturing, but from a thinking place. Those thoughts are able to ground the entire kingdom, in this person's reality. So the thoughts go deep into the world around them, and that makes and that made them able to gain this wealth. I see wealth, I see a castle, a lot of wealth, great wealth. And if it could be a castle, it couldn't be, it could be a castle like a great wealth, or it could be a sense of feeling in which you feel completely blessed, almost like you have a castle, like your house is your castle, or your company is your castle, and you feel like you're on the top of the hill. And you actually was the one that kind of has this belief that you were the one that has created that thing. That your thoughts were the ones that actually got the castle. That's a belief. And and you actually may have a little bit more. For example, if you have a company, you may have a little bit more stock of that company. So you may be able to take the decisions. You may be able to be chairman, for example. But by using this thought, by using this thinking focus, you may be having problems with people that tends to easily just throw away thoughts like, you know what, I cannot just keep on having this conversation with you, and they go away. Like, I just dropped this conversation, like like you hurt me a lot, like you just take the decision and I'm out. My heart, like, I cannot do this. I cannot keep on having this conversation. I'm completely hurt. Like, I am not focusing on thinking. I'm focusing on my emotions. I have a greater connection with my emotions, and when I feel like I'm being attacked and dominated by your intellect, I just want to throw the sword and just let you win, because I am so deeply wounded that this whole enterprise, this whole thing just lost the meaning. And thing is that these people is actually collaborating. So yeah, that's a very tough place. But a good news is that you both energies have been able to actually build that castle. But there is a little bit of stubbornness, like a need of shining a little bit more, and that need may come from a place of not enoughness, like I'm not enough. And that not enoughness, like that feeling of I am not enough may come from an unconscious of subconscious, so it's not easily to see place, okay? And by when subconscious or unconscious beliefs that we cannot easily see express in the world, we feel like we don't know what to do, even though we're so intelligent, So we are Einstein and we don't know how to solve a physics equation kind of experience. So it's a very frustrating thing, like I'm fucking intelligent. Oh my God, I'm so intelligent. Why can I do this? It's it hurts. It hurts just as much as you. I'm saying you. I don't want to say like you, but just as much as someone could hurt someone by using thoughts and words, by using thoughts, and that person gets wounded when their intellect is not able to solve an internal problem. Why? Because this is obviously something that's guided by the divine, with the external energy that I see is the judgment. It's a complete guided learning from the universe, of not so the universe, but from your higher selves. Okay, from your higher selves. And your souls are asking for this. Are asking from this place. Yes, I wasn't wrong. Your souls may be asking from this place, from a place in which you need higher advice. Okay? And this King of Cups energy from the exterior is like, no. You won't be using your thoughts to defeat me. I am emotionally grounded. Maybe you have like a little bit more shares of stock than me, but I am the one that's keeping this together. I am the one that's stable enough, and I am the one that's not thinking about dominating other people. So yeah, this is a tough thing. So maybe the external people, the exterior, and if this, I have another message, like if this is just a single person, maybe your the insight is of this kind of issue is, yes, you have a lot of internally, maybe you have internalized a lot of like you're a thinking person, like a thinking by thinking person, I mean like a person with a personality that focuses on using thought patterns or thought processes to cope with life. And the external, or you appear in the outside world, you perform in the world as a very skilled emotional person. Okay, but this is like the only thing that I see here is a need of integration, in integrating all these energies and understanding that these energies are actually helping each other. And sometimes when you're too emotionally stable, you may be appearing way too cold, and you can be as hurtful as someone that is using a lot of words from an intellectual place. Okay, when for example someone tells you something and you just go away and just stay grounded, but in the end you're gonna judge. And yeah, so in the end it wasn't so bad. Okay, let's see what's that's what I thought. So yeah, there is a heartbreak in the external or in the emotional part. Heartbreak, a lot of heartbreak, of course, because it's an emotional person. So emotional person take things personally, and they hurt emotionally. They hurt, and they feel like words hurt them. Okay, the lesson for this person is that they are allowing those words to actually get into their heart, because they need to integrate, or they need to grow in that sense. So they need to learn how to, for example, become a little bit more skilled with thoughts and words. Okay, and in the thinking part, in the thinking person, I see that there is with the nine of wands, it's a lot of determination, a lot of passion, with all that red that I saw, a lot of passion. So this may be like a couple. This may be a couple, and the emotional person has a lot of love, and their passion is completely emotional. And this thinking person has a lot of thoughts, and their thoughts kind of move their body, and they're very, very, very determined and very workaholic kind of energy. But what I see here is they actually complement each other. And they have been working a lot. They have been able to actually create a lot of financial security. But maybe there could be an external energy that is more focused, not even in emotions or thoughts. They're focused only on money. Maybe that's a little bit of that energy, and maybe that energy is in the middle of you both. And that person is not even emotionally open, and not even thoughtful. They just say like plus like they're like kind of a banker, like they work with money and emotions not for them, thoughts not for them, only money. You add like you give and you take, you give and you take, you give and you take, and you give and you take. You pay and you charge, you pay and you charge, you pay and you charge. There's no like emotional thing between that. There's no thoughts within that. It's just pure transaction. And that energy is in the middle, and that energy is very tough to carry for these two energies. Okay. So you may have wanted to give this person a little bit of emotions, and they're like, no, you know what? I'm just very stable with my money. Like, I don't need those emotions. You can take them. I'm very stable with my money. Oh well. And of course, you may have thought about just going away from this. Maybe it's a partnership, or I don't know, like a loan or something like that. And what I see here is that decision has been very wise, very correct, very healthy, very adaptive, and keep on going. Even if you feel emotionally drained, it's obvious that when you are an emotional person partnering with an emotionally stable person as well, that also has a very intellectual, skillful personality, and you only have to act with this, like cooperate with these people that doesn't have emotional stability. They are dry as desert. They only care about charging, and mostly charging. That's what I see, is like charging you, and maybe you are having trouble about that thing. So you're very clear about this thing. You may have to just move. And there is a lot of other younger energy, because I see that there is like a masculine, like a X generation, Gen X. No, a little bit, Gen X, or maybe baby boomer. No, like baby boomer energy. There's like too focused on money. They don't care about emotional stability. They don't care about having intellect. Just give me the money and I'm okay. So, but the advice is like, there is a lot of other people that younger energies that may actually see a value in what you have to offer, but there may be a little bit of some secrets or some hidden energies. They may know what's going on. They may recognize what's going on. Like, they really recognize what's going on. That like they see the value in you, like how much you have grown and how beautiful that is, what you have created, and how this thing in the middle, like money, is just making this beautiful castle, maybe two castles. Like, it's kind of making a mess in you, and that comes from a very, very emotionally constrained place, with the devil. So the devil for me is the most basic instincts, so the most animal parts of ourselves, which only focus on survival and on control, and they use the devil card has these animal symbols, it's like I'm not a human, I'm not a human, I'm not something that's higher, I'm just an animal, so they use like a goat head, and somehow their chest and their hands are obviously human, because if they use the hands of a goat, they couldn't do anything. But well, very conveniently, they use human hands, and a human chest, and they have wings, so that's a lot of delusion, in the devil card, and it has kind of like a bird feet, with claws and power. It's so much delusion, and with chains, so it's like a complete. It symbolizes how we humans are able to actually master power and control. We were able to actually master power over nature. But funny thing, these people that focuses a lot of money and don't focus a lot on these beautiful things that keep our society together, which everything comes from this animal thing, because everything comes from that place. All our ancestors were all animals in a time, but they focus a lot, because they focus a lot on that, because they don't really care about just having this higher thinking, and they don't care about having these beautiful emotions. They care about maintaining this delusional, not delusional, but that very primitive thought in which they can be just something that doesn't exist in reality, and they can just create something that doesn't even exist, like an entity that has a head of a goat, the feet of a bird, and in the hands of a human. Imagine that in reality. That sounds like something that most humans would just get rid of. Not even as a pet they would have. There's something abominable. Like, I don't know if I may be not pronouncing that thing, but it's just like, wow, like yucky. Like, what the what the hell? Just like, what? It's like, what kind of energy, So it's something like very dark, very not so good, but whatever. Okay, thing is, you're doing good by just showing that person some love and acknowledging that you actually can. You are humans. You both are human. All of these energies are, part of our world, and this person, the person that's actually just focusing on the money, is actually their higher self. Kind of sees you as a soulmate. Incredibly, kind of sees you as a soulmate. That's why they are actually interacting with you, in a very, very unconscious way. They're thinking that you're their soulmate. They think that you're very useful. They can actually profit from you. Then they feel that you are enough in some kind of way, but they don't show that. But by choosing you, they say, "Oh, this is it. This is it." But of course, maybe some of the messages that I gave you have been giving you some beautiful insights, and you are now a little bit more wiser, and you will learn that eventually this is a lesson. And that's what I say. I hope you like this reading and enjoy the week.